Chapter 7, Not Stopping But Starting. You're now almost ready to launch yourself into the quit campaign, but there's an enormously important shift of mental attitude you must accomplish first in a way with a psychological trick you must play on yourself. You must look at your own quit campaign note at the end of it something pleasant at the beginning of something even better. Get your out list and reason for quitting and study it, and think of the pleasure being without your tobacco habit. How will it be free? But do you think that what you're about to do is kind of the martyrdom, self-sacrifice, or giving up something you enjoyed? In a sense, of course, it is. What kind of you and a kid yourself about? But you're an adult. You can look ahead as well as back. The man and woman you are about to become a non-smoker will be, by all standards, healthier, happier with what you are with now, prouder, and you want to be a slave no any longer. You'll be free, and you'll be able to earn your freedom through with your own effort. You'll like yourself better. We are away from this faintly corny sound. Some of the other people's sophisticated clients have occasionally laughed at us for saying it. No matter, it must be said, you must go into a quick campaign for the pod with a not negative attitude. If you don't have the chance of success or not good, quit is the bad word. In a sense, you're not quitting so much as starting, entering a new life, probably longer life, certain better life, fixing this in your mind. Never let it come any loose. I am making a new me from the point of it doesn't ever words quit or stop phrase like break away from this. Instead of the happiness of the winning yourself, and you're about to be reborn. The word quit is sprinkled through the chapters have produced this one would use the word would know that they were talking about it with a common word with the process of considered. It was usually universally used, understood by smokers. I am going to quit. They tell each other that I wish I could quit. I really ought to quit. All right, we adopted the common word and stuck out with while introducing subject. From now on, however, we will use the word rarely. If the negative word with all the wrong connotations, from now on, we substitute with the other word and phrases. Coming free is one falsifiable phrase, a word that we like even better than succeeding. When Americans say someone has succeeded, when they say that they have succeeded, they imply many things. Imply that they envy him, imply that he defeated some adversary, risen up at the top of some of the world in endeavor. You mean that he is rich in some way, in money, sexual enjoyment, and general contentment. A former smoker becomes the true non-smoker with success of all the sense that he is envy, but the overcoming has driven his rage. For these reasons, the word succeed with success will be if this book is from now on. If you don't like our words, use your own, whatever the word and phrase. It should not be anything like the quit or stop. It should embody your thought with leaving something behind. It should have no sadness, no regret, no sense of pain or sacrifice. Make it a forward-looking phrase. Make it magnificent. Make it corny. Who cares? We're not in business and producing great literature here. We are in the business of becoming free for the tobacco, saving health, saving life. If a little corn can help accomplish for the perfect willing to live with it, the price seems ridiculously small compared to what we're buying. We've heard all the kinds of corny, glorious phrases from all our clients over the years. One woman referred to what she was doing with an unyellowing process. She intended with the phrase with a double entered. She meant that at first she had no longer hated herself as a coward and no longer submitted to meekly domination cigarettes. She stood up straight and asserted herself with grown tall in her own estimation. With the unyellowing also referred to the physical coloring. I hated the way cigarettes made my fingers yellow, she told us, and I was smoking always used to feel with it turning yellow all over. My teeth and white now as of my eyes, and the feeling that I get great. Now I feel the color I ought to be. They're made in physical basis for her feeling. Smoking interferes with the blood circulation. A white person can produce a marked sallowness of complexion, and the people who are free from tobacco often startlingly quick change in skin tone. Their cheeks become rosy over the matter of the day, but the entire complexion abruptly takes on a fresher, healthier look. A businessman who succeeds at the age of 63 after more than 40 years of smoking, likely with the word withdrawal management experience with the reorganization. He explained the company reorganizing what he see with the old setup with serving it any more Competitors are passing it by losing markets, and in other words, downgrades. So, the puts it through a radical change, maybe even upheaval within lots of all of the musty old departments of the world. Making money anymore burst up the hierarchy, tradition bound old men who were holding it, making itself tough and laying again. This kind of thing I feel that I'm doing now. I'm making myself younger and stronger, tougher, and a better competitor. This whole thing was some crazy sexual overtones of me. The younger man told me, so I call it sexing up. It's a funny hope that the time came about. When I first made up my mind to go through this with this, I knew that I was going to need something to occupy my thoughts. You know, I keep thinking maybe the broader about cigarettes. Brooding about cigarettes, I knew that one of the things that you had to do, because I had talked to non-smokers for a long time before I actually took up the plunge. I worried about this, and I don't know quite what I was going to use to keep me in the brooding. Well, one of the nights I was going home in the girl's apartment, and it amazingly hit me. At least seemed amazing. I was still a smoker then, and I was burning up at least 2 packs a day. There's at least 1 cigarette every half hour. Alright, but why, and while I did, I've been with this girl, I hadn't smoked at all over 2 hours. And I hadn't even thought about cigarette, and I mean, you can't smoke it when you're, well, that's how it started. I thought nothing can take a man's mind off smoking better than sex. So when I took the plunge of the joint of the course, deliberately became the kind of swinger, surrounded myself with the girls, and the beautiful the part was, I found I was actually sexier without cigarettes. I wasn't tired at night, and I was jumping in the nervous energy. I was embarrassed about the tobacco breath. It was great. When I started thinking about cigarettes, I feel sorry for myself. I switched into a positive idea. I told myself, and you're not losing cigarettes, man. You're getting sexy and sexing it up. To each of his own route. At this point, you must fix your mind strong and awareness. Everything you are, be able to win rather than one unimportant thing you are about to lose, and you're going to be successful. Part 3, the techniques of success. Here are the weapons you will use directly against your own cigarette complex. Like any weapon, they're effective only when used well. Be sure to understand them thoroughly before finally picking them up and then committing yourself to the attack.